All right, this is big. Now, I know you hear online all the time about all these things that could potentially change your life, and I get it. The claims are everywhere, but I promise you, if you switch to the high leverage marketing HoldCo business model, it will be the best financial decision that you ever make. Now, I'll warn you, this video is going to be kind of boring. It's actually a leaked coaching call recording from my community that I offer, where I revealed all the secrets as to how we were able to build a modest level of client acquisition system where we don't get a ton of new clients every single month, but still gross over $200,000 a month with the clients that we have. And the reason being is because the SMMA, the traditional business model, is a dead end. If you want to take that number to $500,000 a month beyond, it doesn't actually work, because you reach the point much before that where churn matches the amount of new clients that you get, and you end up oversaturating the entire market before you can actually get to those numbers where you can become the guy that pays for every single bill. You take care of your wife, you take care of your family, you take care of your friends, and more importantly, they don't even have to flinch about anything financially related because they know that you got it covered. So I'm going to jump into a call recording where I share all the secrets as to what the high leverage marketing HoldCo is. How do we make the front end offers? How do we actually leverage our own expertise to get real equity into our clients' businesses without paying any money up front, and much more. So I hope that not many people watch this video, because if they do, it will become oversaturated and everybody will be doing this, because this probably is the next big thing. But for that reason, I'm showing you a boring ass call recording that hopefully you don't want to watch, because, well, this is the exact model that I follow, and if everybody found out about this, I would just be shooting myself in the foot with my competition. This is the high leverage marketing HoldCo model and foundation. It's what we use. It's the people that we get to work with. A lot of them have jumped onto it, and I don't know if you guys have been to school. I was in school, I think it was over the weekend or something, and some kid who I believe he was from India or something like that. He was actually succeeding with this as well, and he hadn't actually, we don't actually work with him. He's just been kind of consuming some free content. And so basically the way it's structured is you start with a defined dream outcome, right? And the reason being is because when you sell a dream outcome, it's going to come with a lot more value than if you just sell a retainer. It's kind of like, gym analogy. It's like, would you pay $500 to get your dream body guaranteed, or would you pay $100 a month to try and get in shape, right? Like that assurance, that dream outcome, you're actually, you're not paying to go to the gym. You're not paying for somebody to run ads for you. You're paying for that dream outcome. So what we do is we would bundle, our retainer, whatever that, our service, into 3 to 6 months and attach it to that one dream outcome. Then let's say, obviously in the business world, any sort of B2B world, there's going to be some form of monetary gain, obviously, throughout that period, right? And so whatever that monetary gain is, let's say you can add $50,000, or let's say you can add $100,000, let's say it's only $10,000, doesn't really matter. We would choose what attributed revenue we want to go off of. So obviously this can be different in every niche, right? If it's a lower margin niche like home improvement, it might only be 5%, right? If it's a very high margin niche like online fitness, where there's no overhead, you can get up to 33 at the highest end. And let's say, simple numbers, let's say you're guaranteeing a $100,000 increase, right? Because in home improvement, that can only be 2 or 3 projects. You charge a 5% per attributed revenue. Well, what you do is your front end offer is 5% of whatever dream outcome that you can guarantee, right? So in that case, you would charge $5K up front. Then once you've made that client $100,000, once you that client $100,001, you start collecting 5 cents for every dollar they make beyond, the original guarantee that you've done that. Now, what can happen though, and what we do is, if you do things well, you will notice that your performance commissions begin to go up and up and up and up and up. And at that same time, your client's going to be like, fuck, now I'm paying this guy 10K a month. Now I'm paying this guy 15K a month. Now I'm paying this guy 2K a month. So what you do is you downsell the upsell on that point, right? So let's say, you're gearing up to, invoice them $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, whatever that case may be. Well, what you do is say, hey, listen, we don't have to do this anymore, right? I won't charge you 5%. I won't charge you 10% anymore. And instead, you can either sign them up for a 12-month contract, right? Instead, we'll drop our retainer to just, $3,000 a month, and we'll work with you for the next 12 months. Because right there, you've just secured $36,000 of additional revenue to your business. Or depending on the relationship that you have and the ideal, if you're, on good working terms with them, you can go in and, get 1 to 10% of equity in their business, right? And the overall foundation of this is like, this is really the beauty with this model, because I know a lot of SMMA guys in the space, right? Like pretty much there's a couple guys that I still haven't jumped on a call with or done a podcast with, but if you go onto YouTube, you search in MMA, there's like a good chance that I'm on, first name basis with any of the guys that you're watching on the internet. And what I've seen is one guy, just one, cross the $500,000 a month mark. Stevie Johnson. Now, he doesn't even run an MMA anymore. His service delivery is so complex and so advanced. It's not even SMMA at that point. But he's the only single guy that I know of that has followed the traditional starting model and taken it to those levels. Because what happens, and really when I was working with Matt Shields, like this is when I was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on, right? Because I started Mortgage AI, we scaled that up. I partnered with Matt Shields, and then when I started to officially finalize that partnership, I ended up getting onboarded into the Estate AI Slack, Estate AI community, like the whole Estate AI ecosystem as well. And credits to them, but that thing was a shit show, right? They got like 150 active clients. It's like and they're like each one of them paying them like $1,500 a month. There's like all these clients. The sales team has to close like 30 or 40 clients a month just to keep up with churn. And if they want to continue growing, it's just like a whole mess, right? Oh, what were you gonna say?
So basically this model is to kind of like keep them entertained with what you're doing,
Yeah, but let me show you this, right? And so the thing about it is like, if you want to get, like, let's say you scale to $100,000 a month, right? And you want to take this business and you want to scale to $500,000 a month, $1 million a month, like whatever the number is. Think about how many fucking clients you need, how big your sales team has to be, right? How low your churn has to be, right? It's crazy, right? But instead, if you build the client acquisition system and service delivery to get to $100,000 a month, and then as opposed to trying to 5x everything, you just begin to get a little bit of, get pieces of all of your existing clients. You get 5% of, 10, 20 of your actual clientele, right? And then you offer more premium services to there. With a $100,000 a month agency, you can, find yourself in a position where you're at $1 million a month. You're at $500,000 a month. And that's not even including the actual, market value of your company, because you're an agency that also owns, 5, 10, 15 other companies as well. You ever want to go sell that thing's going to be extremely valuable, right? And so with the high leverage marketing model, you only have to build your SMMA, we'll call it, to about $100,000 a month. And then you can just start digging into your clientele base, getting equity with your top performing client. And that's the other thing too. It's like, they're going to be good partners because you've already worked with them for this amount of time, and they're doing well, right? And you're on good terms with them. You know that they'll be able to continue to scale. You can offer a couple additional services with them, get equity in 5 to 10 of them, and you can take your $100,000 a month business, turn it into $500 million without having to spend $100,000 a month on ads or like do something like crazy and like just run this super complex business.
That makes sense. Yeah. You're also basically promising like, hey, if it doesn't work, you have no risk, but if it does work, then it's good for both of us. So then
so on that initial
front end
offer, we'll also have some sort of risk reversal, right? Like the one that we're using, like the one that we use is basically like a profitability guarantee, right? So if you spend $10 to work with us and you only make back $9, we refund you $1, right? So it's like best case scenario, dream outcomes achieved, all the good things. Worst case scenario, you have the infrastructure, you have the cold email, you have the sales process, you have everything that you need to scale to these big numbers, and you didn't lose $1.
Yeah. Shit. That's good. That's really good. I like it.
Yeah, and then the guys that do come in and succeed, we can come back and get, 5, 10, 15% of those, roll that into our portfolio. We have 4 in portfolio right now, and you can see how this thing works.